I'm Fern Doherty. I'm a Grow Offshore Wind advisor for London and the South East. So I work with businesses to access commercial opportunities in the offshore wind supply chain. I've spent 7 years working in project development and advisory roles within the renewable energy sector across tidal energy, offshore wind, biomass. And in the last few years I've spent working on upgrading port infrastructure to be ready for the round 3 build-out phase in the industry. The offshore wind market is a huge opportunity for UK manufacturers because it's a huge growth market. We're expecting to see £100 billion of infrastructure investment off our coast over the next 20 years. And we have a wealth of experience in the UK, in the engineering sector, in the maritime sector, and with crossover industries like aerospace and defence. And it's that we really need to kind of harness and transfer in the offshore wind sector. The first barrier that UK manufacturers face in accessing the market is what is the opportunity? Who am I supplying to? That's where our work with Renewable UK is really invaluable, because that helps us identify, match up technical capabilities with the capabilities of the company. The next barrier is that there's often a cost involved in getting ready for that opportunity. Whether that's in upskilling in skills, investing in equipment, and that's where the funding through the Grow Offshore Wind service can support. The Grow Offshore Wind can work with companies to understand what those barriers and constraints and challenges that companies face in actually securing contracts. And we can work with them through our industry insight, our work with Renewable UK, but critically our funding through consultancy funding or capital funding, or funding even for innovation, to help them address those barriers. And that's where the insight coming from working with developers, OEMs and tier ones is really important in making sure that we're addressing the right gaps and guiding a company to securing contracts in the industry. Well, there's a significant amount of activity around ports during offshore wind installation, pre-assembly and laydown of components, and also during operation and maintenance, which is kind of 20 plus years per wind farm. And during that operation and maintenance phase, we see at least a third of project spend. And around ports we see, a specific type of supply chain cluster, and it's with those companies that we can work to upskill and support them to win contracts in the industry.